Hello. Hi everyone, Big Mike here, aka Kari, with my best friend, the
Wilburnator.
Yeah, the Wilburnator. We're currently at Tangkat, Makati, Glorieta, watching the rain pour down on our heads, and waiting for some stuff that we will be boiling. Yeah, look at that soup. So that's where we're at right now, and guess what we did? You know what? Guess what we did, Sean? What did we do? Yep, we saw that. We pretty much watched Homecoming! Spider-Man Homecoming, baby! Which for me and for Sean, we both agreed on it. It's the best Spider-Man movie since Andrew. Alright? I like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man because he's the closest Spider-Man that we could get, which is Spider-Man.
High school Spider-Man.
Yeah, on a 30-year-old man's body.
25.
Almost 30 then. But again, we're not talking about those. We're talking about Homecoming, baby. Homecoming was a very good movie. I could say that for my own, except for this guy. I think I'm just overhyped because I love a lot of the stuff here. There are a lot of Easter eggs. So first of all, let's talk about the beginning of the movie. Let's start with Wilburnator here. Go.
So we actually began a recap of Civil War. So this is more of the continuity of the Iron Man movie series, for example, because if we ignore the Avengers, we go from Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. Avengers 1, Avengers 2, then we got Civil War, and this is the next one in the main line. So don't think of Spider-Man as a extension. It's essentially a part of the Iron Man canon.
Yes.
Okay. So what we're showing in the movie is 8 years back, and we're showing the villains and also a Easter egg, Danger Control. Damage Control.
Damage Control. Damage Control is in the movie. Not as much, but that's pretty much what it's supposed to be. They're just people who takes care of the stuff that happened from any certain events. Are they only in America, or are they like a worldwide company?
No, this is more for New York.
Only for New York.
Because they're actually a reaction for the Chitauri event and the Avengers one. Well, it was 8 years prior.
Okay, alright. So, yeah, as Sean said, the beginning pretty much touched base on Civil War. Spider-Man has a video cam, probably his phone, going around places in Germany. Pretty much he did a video blog all throughout the event of Civil War, or during his time in Civil War, which was so cool, because again, that's what kids nowadays do anyway. So I'm sure a lot of you kids relate to that, especially in situations that cool, that awesome, right? Not only that, we also had glimpses of what Peter Parker's life is as a high school kid, which was cool. He was in this some sort of quiz bee tournament.
Decathlon.
Decathlon.
It's not quiz bee.
Okay, a Decathlon. And that's something we'll talk about a little later. But pretty much, it's really a high school story, and it's pretty much like a, the title is pretty much dead on. Homecoming, because Spider.
It's a dance event.
Yeah, it's a dance event, but in terms of the overall story, Homecoming, it's pretty much inviting, no, not inviting, but more of letting us see Peter Parker grow as a hero, because he still doesn't have the superhero stuff pretty much on the bag. It doesn't at all. Absolutely. All throughout the film, you'll see him fail, you'll see him mess up. God, he even thought a guy was robbing a freaking car, but it was his own car, but he just forgot his keys.
He had to ship it.
Yeah, Spider-Man just saw him using a crowbar? What is it?
A shiv.
A shiv to pretty much unlock the car. And he pretty much knocked the guy, he didn't knock the guy out, but he knocked his head with webbing and then hit his face right in front of the car. The neighborhood was rattled because it was making noise. The alarm went off, and we got our Stanley cameo. That's where Stan Lee came out. Yeah, it was a very early cameo, right?
The earliest Stanley cameo ever.
No, 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 no. The earliest style cameo he went with was F4. The wedding.
Doesn't count on MCU.
Count as part of Marvel
That's not
Marvel
Stanley,
movie.
that's Wizzy. He's a character. That's not a cameo, that's an actual acting.
Alright, fine.
It's not cameo acting.
I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. But again, that's pretty much what the beginning of the movie started. We pretty much saw Spider-Man being a kid, trying to be a hero that Tony Stark wants him to be. Also doing some small stuff, small time stuff like helping people cross the street, helping people with directions, stopping people stealing bikes,
Saving cats.
saving cats. Yeah, saving cats. And also seeing Aunt May. Aunt May. Damn. That's a hot Aunt May. She gets free food in this. She gets free food from a restaurant. And that's how hot she is. Jesus. But other than that, we also saw some cameos. We can't really see cameos, especially for Donnie Glover, the voice of Miles Morales in Spider-Man Ultimate and Disney. We got him there, and it pretty much confirms that Miles Morales is in this MCU universe. It confirms that 100%, because the character of Danny Glover in Homecoming is acting as an uncle of a certain someone, and his name is the uncle of Miles Morales, which was so mind-blowing, which is so good. I knew that Danny Glover was going to be in the film, but I never knew that he'll be the one acting as the uncle, which, again, in the Spider-Man, or in the Miles Morales Spider-Man movie, or, continuity comic book, his uncle was a criminal, so they did justice on that situation. Now the question is, will we see Miles Morales in future movies? Do you think they'll bring out a Miles Morales?
Maybe, or a spin-off.
A spin-off? Probably a TV show?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. So, that's one thing. That's one thing that a lot of people should be hyped up about. A situation where we can get Miles Morales in the MCU. Cool. What other stuff? Oh yeah, what's the name of the fat kid?
Ted.
Ted. Oh yeah, Ted is a very good character. He's a kid as well, so he also giving like some light humor. He saved Spider-Man in this in one scene. Right? He saved Spider-Man in one scene. Pretty much almost at the climax of the movie already, he saved Spider-Man. But he pretty much is the light, the sidekick of the story. He even wanted to be like a sidekick, because he wanted to be the guy on the chair for Spider-Man, the guy giving him the info, the stuff, the things that he needs to be do, or where to go, which is cool. We also saw MJ, who's not MJ because
But it's MJ.
but she is MJ. But her name is what?
Michelle.
Michelle. Which what? MJ? Michelle? It's not Mary Jane. Are you sure? Okay. So that's what we got. Also, the other love interest, Liz, is out of the picture. Seriously, out of the picture, because her dad was pretty much the main villain, right?
I mean, for Liz.
Yeah, for Liz.
Agent Toomes.
Yeah, which was so weird. It was such a big thing, because Sean and I are good at guessing some things. We are. Fuck, we even guessed the villain from. We guessed who was Ares in Wonder Woman. We were downright understood who will be Ares in the movie. But at the same time, this thing really threw us for a wedge here, because she has Batman as her daddy. She has Bruce Wayne as a papa. which was so cool because Michael Keaton's acting in this is so good. As he is. Again, I don't know why Michael Keaton is not being used a lot in any movie recently.
Birdman.
Again, that was not a recent movie. That's like the last film we knew that Michael Keaton was on. Except for that other one, which was...
What's his turn on?
There. Which was the McDonald's movie?
I don't know.
I downloaded that because I was kind of interested. I haven't watched it yet. But it was like the owner of McDonald's, the founder of McDonald's. Because they had a bio movie, a biopic of that. It was not really a biopic. But getting out of topic, let's go back. Spider-Man had the suit. The suit pretty much has its own AI called
Karen.
And what do you think about Karen?
I think she's much more interesting than Friday.
How would you say that?
Friday doesn't give him that much development.
Well, we only saw Friday like once. Oh no, twice. Yeah, Ultron and Civil War. But what freaks you out about Karen?
She has a crush on Peter.
You went a little too far from me there, brother. I don't see her having a crush with Peter, but for me, what bothers me is that she has emotions.
Yes.
She understands humans' emotions, which is weird. She's an AI. She's an artificial intelligence. And you would say, it's a movie. It's an artificial intelligence. They can do whatever they want. But hell, dude, Jarvis doesn't sound like that.
Jarvis has restraints.
Yeah, Jarvis doesn't sound like that. Jarvis doesn't...
When he became Vision, that he became human.
Somewhat human. He's not fully human. But yeah, that's the one thing that really bothered me. Karen was too good of an AI for a kid. There was even one scene. Sean, do you remember that scene where combat mode, right? Mm-hmm. And he asked Peter if he wants combat mode to be on, and Karen said, "What did Karen say?"
Instant kill mode.
Yeah, instant kill mode, peeps. And the eyes
became red.
The eyes were so cool. It became so red. It was so awesome. It's so weird. But again, that's one of the good things about Spider-Man: Homecoming. They're not afraid of playing around with Peter Parker, with Tom Holland. As I said, this movie is more of Tom Holland growing up to be Spider-Man, growing up to be the superhero he was meant to be. Because for one, during Civil War, we were introduced, or we were informed that he just had Spider-Man powers 6 months ago during Civil War. So he's still new to this whole thing. So he hasn't really gotten used to being a superhero yet. And that's what Tony Stark, me and Sean, look at Sean. Do you understand the implication that Tony Stark became a lot more responsible?
He is. When the actual scene when he talked with one-on-one talk with Peter, he said, "Oh, you weren't even there," and suddenly he shows up personally.
Which was so weird. Not really weird, but more of the idea that Tony Stark has matured is weird. But again, this just shows how characters in the MCU evolved. Now, people sometimes say that Tony Stark is, always causes problems, but no. In this movie, you can say to yourself that Peter Parker is the one who caused a lot of problems. Because, as I said, he still doesn't have this superhero thing under wraps. He's still new. And even the villain himself knows he's still a kid. Here's the funny part. Michael Keaton did a Batman on this one. In the car, right? In the car. His daughter was talking about Peter suddenly vanishing, going out of his way, doing stuff, being a certain...
Piece it up.
Yeah. And Michael Keaton pretty much pieced it up, and he found out that he was Spider-Man just during a conversation. Which, for me, I was saying during that event, my God, it's going all Batman on this shit. It's so awesome. So pretty much we have Vulture knowing the true identity of Spider-Man without even removing Spider-Man's mask. which was so cool. People might even be, to be honest, I could hear people saying that that wasn't really good. That was, a cop out. But I would say it makes sense because, for one, at least we know that that guy wasn't stupid. Right? If you think about it, if you piece everything together, because the Vulture were in those situations, were in those places, D.C., New York, they were. And being in a situation like that, you would probably be able to piece it out anyway. So if people think that it's a cop-out, hell with you guys. So, the end scene was also cool. The fight during Spider-Man and Vulture. Not really much of a fight, but in the building, in the abandoned building. Remember that? There was a scene, I think that was taken from the comic book, where Spider-Man had concrete, steel, and even water pouring down his back. And remembering Aunt May, that she has to get the cure for Aunt May. They did that situation in this as well. The only difference is we got Tom Holland under a rubble, under metal, under concrete, because pretty much an entire building collapsed under his back. And you really feel sorry for Tom Holland, or for the character of Peter Parker in that scene, because you hear him asking help. Dude, this is Spider-Man. You don't expect Spider-Man to ask for help for anyone, right? So it's kind of a heartbreaking for me, and more likely for Sean here, to see Spider-Man in a helpless situation, and then he remembers Tony Stark. He remembered Tony Stark's words.
It's basically the great power comes with responsibility line.
Yeah. It's just a few words from the time where Tony Stark was scolding. Because again, really, that was Peter Parker getting owned by Iron Man, because Spider-Man pretty much made a mess out of things. It was the boat scene that we saw during the what's that again? During the trailer, because he messed up badly. But remembering the words from Tony Stark, he was able to pump his ass off and get out of the rubble, which was so good, so great. Again, if you can watch the movie, if you haven't watched it yet, I suggest to get ready for that, because that was a good scene. That was a good take on that particular comic book scene. That was really cool. Iron Man, you don't really see much of Iron Man here, which was, again, for me, was good, because a lot of people were afraid that it will be focused on Tony Stark, but no,
they actually swerved.
Yeah,
the trailer. They did go this swerve of the trailer.
We didn't even get the scene where Spider-Man and Iron Man was
playing together.
Yeah, we didn't even get that, which for me was a good take, because for one, everybody was worried about it, and I'm telling you right now, we are telling you right now, do not worry. It's not gonna be centered on Iron Man. It's not gonna be centered on Tony Stark. Tony Stark, you can just leave him off. You can pretty much say that this is a Happy Hogan and Spider-Man thing. Because Happy Hogan was funny in this because he was an unresponsible adult, and that's the thing. Happy Hogan was unresponsible because he was supposed to be responsible for Peter. He was supposed to be responsible for Peter, but the weird thing is the person who was responsible for Peter was
Tony.
It was weird, which again says a lot about the character of Tony Stark, really. So other than that, again, not really the post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene.
Yes, McGargan is coming.
Yeah, the Scorpion is in this, baby. We're gonna get Scorpion. I do hope that they do a good
a good deal with Scorpion because based on what we see so far with him, he really is a ruthless character who more likely is aiming to kill Peter Parker. And what else? What else do you like about the Spider-Man in this one?
The way how they show off his gadgets. He's more of the middle Spider-Man than the older Spider-Man that has barely gadgets, and the other one which is more of a science geek.
Can you tell us more about what are the tech that we can expect on it?
Rapid fire webs, shooters, taser web, the drone on his chest, also the of course Karen, and also the web glider.
Ah, the web glider. Web grenade!
Web grenade is a part of the web.
Which was so good. Again, the web grenade was so awesome. You've seen it in the trailer. I'm sure you could check that out too there. Other than that, Aunt May was great. The side characters was great. Mary Jane was funny. She was one of the characters in the movie that really cracked me and Sean up because the scenes where Mary Jane was there was worth it. They were all
Even
good.
though they were lacking.
Not really lacking because for one, it's more of an introduction for Mary Jane, and we both know that the main love interest in the movie wasn't Mary Jane at all at first. She's being introduced to be the future love interest, but it's not. It was Liz, and again, they got rid of Liz in a proper way, so we can focus on Mary Jane probably in the next two movies. Do you remember that last scene in the movie? That very last scene.
What the F?
Say it on the camera.
What the F?
You know what? Let's say it together. Who found out who was Spider-Man? Aunt May. Aunt May found out that Peter was fucking Spider-Man because the Parker luck. The Parker luck. Peter Parker just has the worst luck in the world. He has the worst luck for love. He has the worst luck with friends. He has the worst luck with his entire life. Aunt May found out he was Spider-Man because Peter forgot to lock the door. People would say, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield never made that mistake.
Aunt May,
Really? Really?
Aunt May knew in Spider-Man 2. She did tell him that.
Kind of. It's kind of hinting that. But again, Aunt May was hot. The fat kid. What? I keep forgetting his name. What is his kid?
Ted.
Ted was cool. Ted was an awesome character. I really hope that they keep him for the next coming movies. If they kill him off, that would be sad. But he's a very good character. To be honest, they used the Miles Morales story, including the Amazing Spider-Man story in the comic books, because we got a high-tech suit for Spider-Man, and we got a sidekick, a comedic sidekick who's fat in this as well. Oh yeah, here's one thing that's, again, I shouldn't be bothered at all in terms of what race they choose for characters. I shouldn't, especially in this day and age. Mary Jane's not white. She's not even a redhead. Aunt May is not old. Yeah, she's hot. You're probably gonna get a lot of Aunt May's hot,
Liz is
and you're
also
gonna get a
back.
lot of Aunt May's hot jokes on future movies as well.
They're already doing it.
Yeah, they're already doing it anyway. Tony Stark even said it. I hope you're wearing something skimpy. Yeah, right. So, Flash Thompson. Flash is not white in this. Flash is Indian. Or Arabic. I don't know. But is Middle Eastern. Which threw me off. Again, he's still a bully. Still a jerk. Spider-Man got a lot of payback though. especially with Flash's car.
Or-
You have to see that part definitely if you haven't watched the movie, and if you haven't, why the fuck haven't you? But yeah, that's pretty much it there. We're gonna expect again Scorpion for the next one. We're gonna expect not really a new suit, but we did see another suit. But we're not gonna see that probably until Infinity War, because we're guessing that that's their own version of the armored spider, because that thing is freaking metallic. It's literally an armor. It had black, gold, and red. It was so cool, but he never wore it. He got his other suit back because again in the trailer anyway, Tony Stark asked for the suit because again Peter messed up. So that's pretty much that. The end credit scene was also a swerve, and I think Wilburnator here liked it the most. Why is it that you like the end credit scene?
Oh, Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans saying something. What was that?
How many more of these things we're going to do?
No, not that. The patience thing.
Oh, the patience. He's making a jab of people who are waiting for stories on pre or post-credit scenes.
Yeah. Sometimes patience don't pay off. And it was funny. It was good. People might get annoyed, but at the same time, you should agree. That was good.
But Deadpool did it first.
I'm not denying that. But at the same time, it was funny. It was good. Seeing Captain America or seeing Chris Evans wearing the most hated Captain America's costume. That was during the Avengers, right? The first Avenger movie.
He also wore that in The Dark World.
Yeah, he also did. That's a cameo, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much our review. It's a spoiler, and yeah, it's a spoiler review because pretty much we're eating. We want to get this done. We want to get this uploaded as soon as possible, and also wait for my manga chapter live reactions and my toy unboxings as well. Next movie, I don't know what's the next movie coming up. We'll probably do Kingsman's 2 because we have something in store for you guys for next year. Okay, not something as big as what other channels might do, but we consider it big. All right. So again, thank you guys. Have a good day. And if you're gonna watch Spider-Man, I'm guaranteeing you guys. If you're a Marvel fan, Sony cheated on this, as for what Sean would say, because this is the best Spider-Man movie to date. Alright, so again, everyone have a great time, and too sweet. Hi everyone, Big Mike here from Purple Laugh Trip. Me and Wilburnator forgot to give the rating for the movie for Spider-Man Homecoming, so we're giving it a purple. We're giving it 2 thumbs up. It's a good movie, it's a great movie. We suggest that everyone, kids, adults, should watch it. Everyone, a family, can pretty much enjoy the film. It's funny, it's entertaining, a lot of action too. Probably just a few nitpicks. Just probably one nitpick I could say is the lighting on one scene of the movie when Vulture and Spider-Man first pretty much encountered each other was pretty bad on the cinema that we were at. It's too dark, so that's something that I even heard from Sean Wilburnator was saying during the entire movie. He can't see anything, and on my end that also didn't help because I didn't have my glasses. So I had to broke my glasses. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, as I said, we're giving it a purple. 2 thumbs up. Movie's good. And yeah, have a great day. All right. Have a great week. Too sweet.